Welcome to McKellar Park, home of the Women's National Premier League champions here in Canberra. Belconnen United, they kickstart the defence of their trophy against the team that they beat in the grand final last year, Canberra FC. Joining me here in commentary is Heather Garriock, head coach of Canberra United. Heather, looking forward to a very good game this afternoon.
Absolutely, a grand final rematch here at the stunning McKellar Park. The sun's shining, the field looks amazing as per usual, so looking forward to a great grand final rematch. Probably brilliant that that Belconnen and Canberra FC are playing in the first round. It's good for Canberra FC to be able to see where they're at, along with Belconnen United, a fairly similar squad to last season for Belconnen United, and a few youngsters for Canberra FC.
Yeah, new players on both sides across the board. Before we get into the action here, your situation with Canberra United, how are you looking for the forthcoming season at the moment?
Yeah, look, just in discussions at the moment with Canberra United, so obviously just focusing on the winter season at the moment, and most importantly, looking forward to the game today. So just here at McKellar Park, just spoken to Captain Grace Gill.
Don't know if you can hear me, Grace. Heather, I've got a few technical difficulties on our end. Sorry about that, Heather. We had a bit of a technical problem with my headphones. I couldn't hear what you were saying, unfortunately. We're talking about Canberra United and where your situation is at the moment.
Yeah, just like I said to you at the start of the game, just in discussions at the moment, which is exciting. It's going to be a fabulous W League this coming season, hoping for a home and away season. So just generally, I think it's more than anything going to be a great W League, especially off the back of what it's going to be for a fantastic World Cup in France.
Yeah, big year of women's football this year as well. Women's World Cup, as you mentioned. We're here today, though, talking about Premier League football in the nation's capital, and two sides that are probably going to be at the pointy end of the competition come the end of the season. We're talking round one here, of course, already, and there's plenty of other teams in this competition that will have ambitions of their own. But Belconnen United have been the standout team for a number of years, and Canberra FC are going to cause them a few issues like they have done over the last two seasons.
Yeah, most definitely, Russ. It's going to be a great test today for Belconnen, always being they need to be at the top of their game, and for Canberra FC, they've got a few youngsters coming in, a new enthusiastic coach that comes in and really directs the side. So for Ant, the head coach of Belconnen, it's going to be great to see how they perform in today's match.
Yeah, Nick Brozanic, the new head coach of Canberra FC. We'll go through his side in a moment, but I'll take you through the Belconnen United team to start with. They line up with a 4-3-3. Sally James, their new goalkeeper, in between the sticks to start with. Four at the back, Lauren Keir, Jazz Zabel, Jessie Rashard and Bronte Pike. The midfield three of Michaela Day, Nicole Jalocka and Sam Price. Up front, Madeline Whittle, Alexia Fauna, their new striker, and Ellie Raymond. Plenty of pace in there, plenty of quality as the teams join in the field. And a chance for some new players in James, Zabel and Fauna to show us what they can do in the blue of Belconnen.
Yeah, I know Sally James, being part of CUA last season, really, really well, and she's a great young goalkeeper, and it's great to see her playing for Belconnen United in the sticks today. So, and also Alexia Fauna, she was part of the Canberra United Winter program, so it's going to be great to see how she performs in today's match. She's got plenty of skill and technical ability.
Nick Brozanic's first competitive match in charge. He selected the following team in a 4-3-3 formation. Natasha Vasta in goal. His back four, Bridget Wright, Ivana Galich, Amy McLaughlin and Alice Churchill. Grace Gill captains the side in midfield alongside Krista Hagan and Jamie Berkeley. Up front, Rachel Goldstein, Mel Bunker and Brittany Palumbi. Plenty of quality in that team as well, and we're looking forward to seeing Bunker up front in her first chance for Canberra FC. Played for Gungahlin last year, scored plenty of goals as well, so she's got a chance to shine.
Absolutely, the captain of Gungahlin last year, which brings in experience for Canberra FC, which is going to be great to see. It's going to be a lot on the two centre-backs of Belconnen United. And in terms of Lauren Kerr, she pushes out to a position that's sort of she's not used to playing at right back. So it's going to be fantastic to see how the Canberra FC go.
Been around for a while now, Lauren Keir. Seems to have been playing for years and years and years, even though she's still quite young. And she got her chance in the W League this year with yourself as well, and did quite well when she came in.
Yeah, she did. Such a hard worker. She came in and trialled for Canberra United the season before that and didn't quite make it. And just her work ethic and her attitude certainly got her across the line. And then she debuted for Canberra United for the first time. And to be honest, I remember giving her a first contract, and she was so emotional because she'd worked so hard. She'd gone through so many ups and downs with injuries, and it's just really great to see a young player who's got aspirations to play for Canberra United, and she finally achieved that. So hopefully a strong season from her again this year and part of Canberra United.
Ricardo Alberto is the man in the middle, assisted by Aisha Strutt on this near side and Lawrence Morris on the far side. As I said, last season these two were the standout. Belconnen United claimed grand final victory over Canberra FC at this venue with a 3-1 victory. They started the campaign here, this same stage last year, in round one with a 4-0 victory for Belconnen. Madeline Whittle, Bronte Pike, Gemma Murphy and Michaela Day with the goals. Canberra FC hoping for a better start to the 2019 campaign. It's important in these early stages for both sides to settle. First touch of the ball for Pike. And Heather, in this situation where you are Canberra FC and they've got ambitions this year to push Belconnen all the way, how important is it to start well?
Yeah, I think it's really important, not just for themselves, but for other teams as well, to take them seriously in the competition. And when you've got someone like Grace Gill leading the team and leading the pack, and last week scoring another quality free kick in which she did, the momentum will certainly shift. So it's going to be interesting to see what the tactics are going to be at Canberra FC, especially with the new coach in.
Is Day and Jaloka. We saw them in midweek in the futsal Premier League Grand Final. First touch for James in a Belconnen jersey. They warmed up for this fixture last week by beating the Canberra United Academy 7-0. Hat-trick for Ellie Raymond in that one as well. Meanwhile, Canberra FC drew 3-3 with Gungahlin United in their final pre-season match. Both sides, of course, missing several players in those games, and make of it what you will from pre-season.
Yeah, pre-season is usually about tinkering players and seeing what the best starting squad is, and as you can see from Belconnen, there's only been several changes from last year's grand final.
Here's Rashard, who was one that did play. Jaloka. Day, a clash in midfield with Grace Gill. Free kick to the Blue Devils.
I'm certainly looking forward to that matchup in Michaela Day and Grace Gill. They both really like to control the midfield, really like to receive the ball at their feet and try and change a point of attack from side to side. So to see them at each other today will be fantastic.
Rashard goes long with the free kick, looking for Whittle, but that skips away off the surface. Plenty of rain here in Canberra last night. We caught the tail end of it at the Charity Shield at Deakin Stadium, and as I was driving home, there was a huge storm that came through. So the surface will be a bit slick, but you know this pitch as well as anyone, Heather, with bringing Canberra United through here last year, and surface looks immaculate from here.
Certainly does. It's like Wembley, as Sarah Groob calls it. Yeah, it's just amazing. The quality of the pitch, especially today and every other game that Canberra United has played last season and the seasons before, are fantastic. Such a beautiful field.
Churchill needs to trap back here. Tries to keep the ball out of play and does well in the end, the defender. And her team a goal kick.
It's another player that was part of the Canberra United winter program last season was Alice Churchill, and she's such an old school defender. I'd say her defensive abilities are outstanding, so it's going to be hard for Maddie to get past her in today's game. But with Maddie's pace, she's always definitely one to watch.
Possesses a decent left foot as well, Churchill. Can deliver a good set piece.
That's probably why I'm a little bit biased there, Russ. I love a left footer.
Gill turns to marker well. Looks to send Brittany Palumbi on the charge. And she's going to get there, the forwards. First chance for Canberra FC in an attacking sense. But it's a good piece of defending by Rashard, who's used all of her experience. Opportunity for Whittle to find Fauna. Big season for Alexia Fauna here in Belconnen colours.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be out of her comfort zone, Lexi Fauna. She's been part of all youth squads before, been part of the under-17 squads, and yeah, it's great to see her around senior players to test her ability.
It's her corner, which will be picked up on the edge of the box by Day. Another chance for Fauna to deliver. Better cross in towards Price. Vasta needs to take this and does well, the goalkeeper. Nice to get an early touch. And she's got us straight underway on the attack with Galich. Couldn't quite free Rachel Goldstein, but that's a confidence booster for the goalkeeper to come and claim that cross.
Yeah, most definitely, and you can see already that the tactics are changed dramatically from last season. You know, you can see that they're trying to build up Canberra FC. They were a very counter-attack team last season, which was highly effective for them, and there's no harm in being like that, but they're a bit more of a possession base, as you can see, and they're pressing Belconnen a little bit higher than what they did last season.
Early stages of the Women's National Premier League, the first round of fixtures. Fairly long season, Fed Cup action as well for the women coming up.
Yeah, I think there's 16 games altogether with 2 buys in it, so I think it's a wee bit shorter than last season. And the breaks of obviously Easter as well, so...
Just shows the importance of getting off to a decent start, I guess. Here's Keir, looking to provide that for Belconnen. At the moment, it's those in blue that have dominated possession so far. Here's Palumbi looking to take on Keir. Blustery wind blowing around McKellar as there always seems to be, and the temperature dropped significantly when we got here this afternoon, didn't it? It was reasonably warmish this morning, but now it's pretty cold.
Can't believe I didn't pack my gloves. And you did, Russ?
I did. Been here before.
Yeah.
It gets a lot colder as the season goes on.
Well and truly.
But the football, I'm sure, will warm us up. Here's Bunker, the American, looking to get after this. She's got an Australian passport now, I'm told. Came over from Gungahlin United to join Nick Brosnich's new team. Here's Galich, who enjoyed a good grand final. Goldstein finds Wright. Can't squeeze that past Raymond, and Pike tries to squeeze that through the gap, but only finds Galich.
It's great to see young Pike starting for Belconnen. I thought she was outstanding, especially in the grand final last year and throughout the back end of the season. So, and her overlapping runs are exceptional.
Didn't mind a goal either. Almost got to double figures from left back. Bronte Pike. Berkeley's challenge on her there. And finds Goldstein. And Canberra FC trying to work that ball out nicely. You can see there's a certain confidence in this Canberra FC side. And why shouldn't there be? They did play, like I said, Belconnen 4 times last year. They lost all 4. 4-0 in the round 1, 2-0 in round 13, 2-0 in round 20 and the grand final. But they did push them all the way in most of those matches. Just lacking a little bit in the final thirds to find the target.
Makes it a little bit easier as well, just speaking to Grace Gill before the game and talking about their preparation in the pre-season, and they've been going since mid-January. So to have a pre-season like that and to really establish your playing philosophy is something that you can see they've worked really hard at, and it's great to see that from a possession-based and a build-up point of view, they're really trying to build up and trying to play from the back to the front.
Well, amongst their friendlies, they beat Wagga City 9-0, went down in a 5-goal thriller to Bankstown City 3-2 and had that draw I mentioned with Gungahlin. So they haven't struggled for goals. Different sort of test to Belconnen United, of course. Their last match, the Blue Devils, was here. It was a 1-0 defeat to Sydney University in a challenge match. They're on the attack straight away. That's a goal kick there. A challenge match here that was 1-0 Sydney University. I believe Denise O'Sullivan scored the winning goal in that one.
Julianne Russell.
Sorry, Julianne Russell, I meant.
Denise O'Sullivan.
The other Irish.
Both Irish internationals, both teammates, and Julianne Russell at Sydney University, a quality Irish international that's playing again with Sydney University. But yeah, it was a tight matchup, and it was just great to see the club challenge between a Sydney-based NPL side and a Canberra-based NPL side. So, yeah, Belconnen really pushed them to the end. It was unfortunate that Julianne Russell scored that late winner.
It's really close to the end as well, wasn't it? That was the Belconnen United team that was unbeaten in 2018. Other than that, on the back foot here, though, as Bunker looks to take on Rashart.
Yeah, had she played that ball just slightly earlier, then she would have been in, and there was a Belconnen United player playing her onside by at least 3 metres.
As I mentioned last season, 20 wins and 1 draw for Belconnen United. Scored 94 times, conceded only 9. Kept 16 clean sheets in 23 matches. Phenomenal record. Here's Whittle. The Fauna ahead of her. McLaughlin gets the foot in. Most of the supporters that are at this game today sitting in this main stand on this near side, sheltering from that cool wind. Here's Jazz Zabel. Made the move over from Monero. Her debut this afternoon as well. 10 minutes gone, no real chances of notes at either end. Typically cagey start to this campaign that we probably expected.
Yeah, both, I think, with nerves. More from Belconnen's perspective, it's more of a high expectation and wanting to win. And if you haven't lost for a whole season, last season, besides that game against Sydney University, then the pressure is certainly on. And as you can see, Canberra FC are the underdogs. But they're certainly not playing like that. They're playing with quite a lot of confidence.
Here's Gill. Fauna takes over possession. Nice turn. Looks to find Jaloka. Runs away from her, though. And Goldstein may skip away from Price here. A little bit of space for her to work in. And he bunker ahead of her, and she's overrun the football, unfortunately. And here's Fauna back defending. Raymond. Looks for Whittle. Day helps it wide. Now Lauren Keir has a pocket of space in which to attack. Ball in towards the far post where Raymond was arriving. Couldn't quite get a touch. Whittle was their leading goal scorer at Belconnen last year. Heather with 17, but they did lose Jessie Williams with 11 goals. She's gone to play Women's AFL, and Jazz Maguire with her 10 goals has gone to the North Shore Mariners. So that's taken 21 goals away from their team, and it puts a little bit more pressure on Whittle and I guess Fauna as a new arrival to come up with the goods.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously you got Caitlin Munoz to come back in the squad as well. She's currently at Amy Wilson, which is a name that we're all familiar with. It's her wedding, so she comes back in the side and can score goals, as we know. Some bombs she scored, especially in that GF last season. So, yeah, it puts a bit of pressure on Alexia Fauna, but it's good pressure. She's a youngster, and she probably needs to be out of her comfort zone to then grow. You just saw before, her technical ability is outstanding.
Yeah, great freak from the young international. That's a free kick. Kia fouls bunker. Kath Brown to come back into the Belconnen squad this year as well, I understand. Former Canberra United player.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's certainly going to bolster the squad as well with experience, and someone like Kath Brown. They've got so many people in the back line to choose from.
Just to strengthen something which was already pretty good.
Absolutely.
Here's Kia. Looking for Raymond. Defended well by Wright. Gallett's tried to play that forward, but Pike's read the intentions. Raymond. Here's Zabel. Nicely done. Finds Raymond. Price. Good build-up this from Belconnen. Chance for Pike maybe to deliver into the penalty area opportunity, but the flag is up and that won't count. But good move.
Absolutely outstanding build-up, and you can see the message from Anne has been for the left and right back to push on, and just the combination play and the crossing as well. It's always nice to have a natural left footer playing left back, and Pike's done a great job to get the ball in. It was just slightly offside.
Yeah, tidy tuck as well from Whittle arriving. There's that challenge between Day and Gill. This time Gill wins a free kick, picks herself up off the floor. She spent some time in the commentary box with me at the W League games last year that we did here for Canberra United, so back in a natural habitat of the field.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to see her back on the field, but she also does a sensational job in the commentary box.
17 goals last year for Grace Gill. which is a not insubstantial return. And there it's a ball forward, and that's Bunker, who tried her luck. Good technique, just lacked the power to test James.
Absolutely. To be able to get that connection, you can see just in this first part of the game, she's a quality signing. She's going to be great for Canberra FC, and just her runs off the ball, off the shoulder, have been outstanding.
Here's Keir at the other end, shown a bit too much of that to Churchill, but wins her team a set piece. And I'm sure Rashart will jog forward to join the attack. Probably their main threat in the air, Jessie Rashart, as the rain starts to drizzle down out there.
Just dropped a couple of degrees and it's going to be quite cold for the players. Make for a better match. The ball's going to skid around a little bit more.
Let's see what they can do with this corner. It's swung in. Vasta's come, not got there. It's going to be cleared, though, by Berkeley. Up towards Bunker, who puts a shift in to get there and does well. But concedes a free kick, a little nudge in the back of Price. It's a little bit of light rain. You possibly can't pick it up on the cameras, but it's forced a few people back into the further reaches of the grandstands to try out the new coffee machine here at Belconnen. It's not bad if you're a coffee drinker, Heather.
Not at all. Happy days. Great coffee, great hot chips, great ball.
A good ball in as well, and Pike had snuck in behind. I think she may have been flagged, though, had she got a proper contact on it. But they said that was their signing of the season, their new coffee machine so far. They're very proud of it. I had one before kickoff, very good.
It's important to have great coffee, especially in the winter. Absolutely.
Gill's in there battling away. Rashart's won it though. Pike's ball forward is picked off by Wright, with Jalocka in turn winning it in midfield.
And Jalocka just does so many tackles in that midfield, and is just normally the unsung hero. Her work ethic is outstanding. She's made plenty of tackles, especially in this first little bit of the first half.
Wright's ball forward, looks for Goldstein. Robbed by Pike. This might fall for Gill. Berkeley. Now Palumbi, and Raymond stuck close to her. There is Jalocka. 16 minutes gone and no score. Who do you think's happier so far?
Oh,
difficult one.
Yeah, it is a difficult one because look, Belconnen are dominating, but not by too much. But you can just see that Canberra FC are just trying to settle into their style and be comfortable with it, and then they're really trying to play. And you can see the message from Ant on the sideline to continue to keep playing and continue to change a point of attack.
Rashart finds Whittle. Galich gets a foot in. Should be picked up by Zabel. She's looked neat and tidy in the first quarter of an hour.
Yeah, for sure. She looks like she's very comfortable on the ball. Very happy to dribble the ball out. She must be a comfortable centre-back because, like I said at the start of the game, for the captain, someone like Loz Kerr, to be playing right back, and she's done a very good job overlapping so far. She must be doing something right, especially at training.
Belconnen have the throw-in right down near the corner flag. No goals in this one. It's Fauna, gets a touch, tries to turn. There's the feet that Heather was talking about. Nice and quick and creates space from nothing. Here's Day. Twisting and turning, but Gill's with her. And this might fall for Fauna, but Wright's read the ball, and it's Price trying to burst her way through. A little bit frantic on the edge of the Canberra FC box. Pike looking to take on Wright. Still going, Pike. And in the end, it's deflected comfortably for Vasta, but a little bit of panic stations in the Canberra FC defence for a moment. Don't normally see that with the FC defence, do you? Galich is usually quite a cool and calm customer when she's in possession.
Yeah, she is. She looks to be the one that's calling the shots at the back, and she's an experienced player, and another one that was part of the Canberra United Winter program last year, and a big part of this club. But young Wright out here on the right-hand side, up against Pike, when she does push on, she's done a really good job.
It's a battle we'll keep an eye on throughout the afternoon. Rashart. Raymond. There's Jaloka. Comfortable in tight spaces. And finds Zabel. Well worked this by Belconnen. Kia has a little bit of room. But can't pick out the pass, and Churchill just sends that one straight back. It's pretty much all those in blue with the ball at the moment, though.
There is. I feel like Bunker's a little bit isolated up top, and the more that Belconnen has possession, the more that Canberra FC drops.
There's a chance for Gill to perhaps slide her through, and tried to pick the pass, but that was well read by Zabel to cut that out. Rashart win a cross goal. A lot of faith in her defence to get her out of that one, and Kia happy to win the throw.
I think if Gracie had a time again, she would have clipped the ball over the top, and it would have been on for Bunker.
May have thought about pulling the trigger from that range.
Oh yeah, all pulling the trigger. She loves a shot and can score.
Haven't really tested James just yet. She's had a fairly quiet start to life as a Belconnen goalkeeper. When you're as dominant as the Blue Devils have been in local women's football, it can be hard for the goalkeepers. Come back to that point in a second. This is a real chance in the penalty area for Fauna. Can't get it out from her feet, though. And Pullenby happy to clear. Point I'm making there, Heather, is that, as a young goalkeeper, she's behind a team that's so dominant that sometimes you don't get a lot to do. So when you're called upon, your concentration needs to be 100%. Yeah,
most definitely. And I think from a build-up point of view, that could help her immensely.
But she might have something to do here as Gill's peeled away. She can keep this in. She's got Bunker in the middle. Goldstein's there as well. It might come for Bunker. It might come for Goldstein. Can she get the shot away? Good defending there to hold her up, and the chance goes begging. But the first time we've seen Canberra FC cause some problems in the Belconnen defence. Goldstein just shot away.
No, not at all. She did all the right things. She tried to push the ball or shift the ball and have a shot, and just wasn't quite there. She's a natural lefty.
They want a free kick here, Belconnen. They're not going to get one, I don't think. They're not. But that was half a chance. Grace Gill peeling away and decent ball in. Good dummy from Bunker.
Yeah, it was, and you can just tell that Gill and Bunker are working really well together. There's synergy there, and Belconnen need to be careful of that, especially in transition.
Canberra FC were Fed Cup semi-finalists last year, as well as runners-up in the grand final and finishing the league season in third place. We're beaten 2-1 by the academy here. We've lost Millie Mallinson, and of course Chantel Jones was a big part of their team at the start of last year before she was injured.
Yeah, exactly. Chantel's not playing today, so that's a big loss to the team. She can basically play anywhere, including her strength in playing in goals. But since then, I think there's been a big commitment ceremony about a month or so ago with Grace Gill and Chantel. So congratulations to the both of them on getting married.
Absolutely, and Chantel Jones, her knee seems to be a little bit better. She might be back on the field at some stage in the future. She had a big part to play here a couple of years ago in the grand final in the penalty shootout, helping Canberra FC to victory.
She did indeed.
Outstanding goalkeeper. Enjoys his spell on the field as well. Was top goal scorer for FC during that season for a while. But sensibly put her in the posts for the big one.
I think that's a great coaching move.
Must be great for the young keepers like Natasha Vasta there to have someone of Chantal Jones' experience around the training grounds.
Absolutely. You have someone of her experience. She's an American and obviously been in camps with the national team, especially at the youth level as well. So to have her as a mentor, that'd be really inspiring.
Wright tries to send Bunker in, and that's a hefty collision with Rashard. And Jagarinic isn't happy with it. Absolutely clobbered in that challenge with Bunker, wasn't she?
Yeah, Bunker wasn't pulling out of that one. I think that was a big knock, but didn't really phase Bunker too much.
I think it may have been Rashart's head onto Bunker's shoulder in the end. There is a height difference between the two.
Yeah, massive height difference.
I think Rashart bent down to head the ball and may have got a piece of Bunker's shoulder in the process. 25 minutes gone here on Bar TV Sports. No goals at McKellar Park, Women's National Premier League football. Belconnen United against Canberra FC. Tomorrow, double-header in the Men's FFA Cup from Woden Park. Live coverage of Canberra Olympic versus Queanbeyan City, followed by Cooma Tigers v Monero Panthers. Or if you should wish, you can tune in to watch Belconnen versus Western Molonglo, or Tuggeranong United versus O'Connor Knights. And this is something you'll see all season on Bar TV Sports here in Canberra. All matches stream live, which is a great initiative and gives a chance not just for people to watch grassroots football, but also for the coaches to be able to, take it to the next level, watch video of the opposition, watch videos back of their own games and that kind of thing.
It's so important this day and age to watch video both of your own team and be able to show players and show examples to players on what you're doing really, really well and areas that you can develop. So to have Bar TV showing all the matches, that's just fantastic to see. And it's happening here in Canberra, and I know for sure it's happening in New South Wales as well. So it's great. You can sit on your couch to watch whatever match you want to. How good's that? Especially in the winter here in Canberra.
I was talking to Tuggeranong United's men's head coach Mitch Stevens yesterday, and he said he was a little bit jealous. He'd have loved to have that when he was playing back in the day, when we probably were as well, to be able to go back and watch videos of yourself playing in a match or maybe scoring a goal or whatever. It'd be a great keepsake for these people, for these players in the future as well. Yeah,
fabulous tool as well, just to develop your own game and see what you're not doing well and how you can develop. It's so important, and I'm sure these players that want to make it, like the likes of young Alexi Fauna and Sally James and players like that, they will go back and watch their game and see where they can improve, and no doubt both coaches would be helping them out to go through that footage.
And it helps with them creating their own hype videos as well that they can send to coaches of their skills and goals and what have you as well. So all good as far as that's concerned. We're back on the way. Rashart thankfully recovered. Did a game here early in the season where Tash Pryor took a heck of a knock that kept her out for a fair while, didn't it? Quarter of an hour down on the field. And
kept her out for a fair while, kept her out for the whole season, which is unfortunate when you get a concussion and a head knock like that. And I think that was a 6th concussion of her career, and she's only young. She's only 21. So, that really cost us for Canberra United. She was one of our top defenders.
Yeah, happy to put her body on the line, wasn't she, and get involved in the tackles. And we wish her all the best for recovery. Hopefully she comes back to play again.
I'm sure she will. She's a quality young player.
Churchill went to send that one through. Couldn't quite squeeze it through. Not many chances of note in terms of goals at the moment. Neither keepers really had a save to make. Maybe that will change now. Chance perhaps for Whittle to slide it across goal. Raymond's arriving here on the far post, but she couldn't quite get her foot on it. Decent ball through. And Raymond was stretching the studs. Should have put the long ones in.
Yeah, and that's the second time in the last 5 minutes the ball's come across that penalty area, and the defender's just getting on the wrong side of the attacking players or Alexia Fauna, but well done by Maddie Whittle to get that ball across.
It's been their best source of openings at the moment, Belconnen, hasn't it? That right flank with Keir and Whittle.
Yeah, I think Kerr would think all the Christmases have come at once, being able to attack and be up in the front third. So she's doing a really good job.
Another free kick for Belconnen. Day behind this one. Coming up to half an hour gone. Still waiting for the first clear-cut chance. Belka did have the ball in the net, but it was flagged well offside before Whittle applied the final touch. Rashart will look to drop this into the penalty area. Easily dealt with by Churchill. Goldstein helps it on its way. Chance for Fauna to send this into the area. Might break for Price on the edge of the box. And Wright is there again. Now Bunker does well to hold that up. And then Churchill's asked a fair amount of Goldstein to chase. Jaloka, can she spark something? Fauna switched positions with Whittle for the time being out there on the flank, and Whittle's taken up the centre forward position. Something we'll see throughout the game, you'd imagine, Heather?
Yeah, exactly, and you've seen the Belconnen players interchanging in positions, which is a huge sign of the familiarity with each other, that they can either play left back or left wing, and the interchange is excellent to see.
There's a chance for Whittle to swing this in. Might break for Price, but that's a good piece of defending from Hagen back there helping out. Rashart. It's bounced off of Price rather fortunately for Whittle, who tried her luck on the turn. Didn't quite get enough of it.
Clever by Maddie Whittle, and I'm keen to see how she goes in that number 9 position, because I really think that's her best position, and her to be able to spin and turn and get in behind the defences. And I remember the goal last season in the grand final that she did that. It was Caitlin Munoz in the midfield and Maddie Whittle to score one of the goals. So certainly a strong attribute of Maddie's.
Like you said, doesn't mind a goal. 17 of them in all competitions last season.
Not only a goal scorer, but a great person as well. Really trained hard throughout the season for Canberra United. Really great kid, and a local Canberra girl. Another one that's worked really hard to get in to the Canberra United squad. So just a great attitude that consistently worked really hard.
And kept fairly quiet so far this afternoon. I'm sure she'll have another couple of chances though before the end of the match. Here's Hagen. Looking to squeeze that through. Pike's there. There is Whittle trying to bring it down, but sent forward by McLaughlin. Price. Day's ball. Looks for Pike. Not much ahead of her, only Raymond on this near side, and that was pretty telegraphed to Wright, who won the tackle easily. And turns it back over to Day again. It's all a little bit scrappy. Grace Gill gets a shove in the back there. Exasperated look on her face, wasn't it?
The battle between these two, it's brilliant. They're both getting frustrated with each other, but it's a great midfield battle, and it's great to see.
It could be the key to who comes out on top today, because both have real influence on their sides.
Massive influence.
It's a good free kick there from Galich. Almost found Goldstein. Was prodded back in by Churchill, but the Belconnen can bring it away now. Can Raymond get there? She won't, because Galich got there first. Berkeley to Hagen. Goldstein.
I'd love to see if Goldstein comes into the midfield to receive the ball, another player to make a third man run in behind. There's just so much space.
Palumbi, she switched wings. Trying to get a bit of joy on this near side. And Palumbi stayed down here. Kept best in that challenge with Pike. Whether she got caught in the face or whether she twisted something on the way down. Maybe got caught by an arm from Pike across the face.
Yeah, possibly. Pike's that player that just constantly, her guns up and down the field. She's super quick as well, so you can see the Pike and both of them interchanging constantly throughout this game.
Palumbi drags herself to her feet. Raymond gets stuck in to the challenge with Wright. Just past the half-hour mark in the reserves game this morning. Belconnen United beat Canberra FC 4-1. Two young benches as well, which I'll mention a little bit later on. I'm sure that'll come into play in the second half. Canberra FC look to mount an attack with Gill. Berkeley tried to sweep that into the path of Hagen. Gets a second bite of the cherry though. Now McLaughlin. Churchill's wide. And Kia breaks up that attack. Canberra FC though finally getting a little bit of time in the Belconnen attacking third. Here's Gill trying to swing that ball in. Bunkers in there. Unmarked. The flag did go up. in the end. But good ball in from Grace Gill and a nice run from Bunker.
What an outstanding ball. And you can just see, I've been watching it for the first, 30, 35 minutes. You can just see it's Michaela Day and Grace Gill. Michaela's everywhere that Grace is, and Grace is everywhere that Michaela is. So she got the better of her that time, but what a quality ball.
It's one of several intriguing duels that we're seeing at the moment. And absolutely nothing to choose between these two sides. "17 points between them on the ladder last season. You wouldn't pick it by what we're seeing so far.
No, and that's why it's so exciting to see the first round of the NPL here. So exciting is both teams are at such a good level. They've had a superb pre-season, and you can't really pick the sides, but it's a very tough first game of the season because you don't know where your players are at from a fitness point of view until that first game.
Neither side could probably have asked for a harder match than a grand final rematch. 10 minutes to half-time. Still awaiting our first goal. There was matches around Canberra as well today. Unfortunately, the Monero Panthers fixture at the Riverside Stadium has fallen foul of the weather. As Goldstein lifts one in from distance, and it's going to drop harmlessly for James. It's a bit disappointing, isn't it, when you get your first game of the season, you're all pumped up for it, and it rains all night and it's cancelled.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to wait another week.
I'm sure it's going to be a fixture nightmare for Capital Football trying to rearrange games.
The good thing about the Riverside now is it does have a decent set of lights, apparently, so they can play midweek if needs be. Good ball in from Gill towards Bunker, and there's a chance perhaps for Goldstein. And in the end, that's some good defending from the Blue Devils, and James took command. Chance to bring it away with Zabel. Fauna. Price. Now Whittle. She looks to take on McLaughlin, who stands tall. Fauna for Whittle. Quick scan for Fauna, looking to see what her options are. And in the end, she runs into Churchill, and Gill will look to send Goldstein away, almost got her in. Do you think Anthony Jagarinic, in terms of Belconnen, will want his side to just be a little bit quicker in transition when they're breaking? It seems to slow down a little bit in the final third.
It's very stagnant up top. The top three. There's no movement. There's no interchange. Maddie Wheel's one of those type of players that when she's on, and it just seems like today that she hasn't quite got a groove, and I think Lexi Fauna's taking too many touches. So between the both of them, you can see that they haven't played matches together, but in saying that, you'd expect a little bit more from the both of them.
Being well marshalled by the defence at the moment, led by McLaughlin and Galich. Gill. Hagen. It's a nice touch as well to find Hagen once more from Goldstein, but that's going to run away. Wright will do her best to keep it in. Not quite quick enough to get there. Been impressive, though, so far, Bridget Wright on this near sides.
Yeah, she has been. She's done a job defensively, and you haven't seen her get forward too much, but I'm guessing that's not what they want from her.
There's Fauna, gone back to a more central position. Pike. Day. And she has to go back to Rashards. I think the sheer presence of Grace Gill's forcing Michaela Day to operate a lot deeper than she normally would like to do. She does like to get forward, doesn't she, and get involved in these attacks, and scored a lot of goals coming in late on the edge of the box last season.
Yeah, exactly, and certainly a free kick taker as well. But I think Belconnen and Mickey's just mindful of Grace Gill, because you can just see the experience that she's got, and some of the balls she's put through has been outstanding.
Well, they need to defend here because Belconnen have a free kick as the wind picks up again. Just before 7 minutes to go to half-time. Belconnen going to send plenty of blue shirts forward here. 7 of them on the edge of the box, waiting for Lauren Keir's delivery. With that wind blustering around and swirling around the ground, it's going to be a difficult one, this, for Vasta and the Canberra FC defence if Keir gets it right. Doesn't look like a bad one from here. Whittle's come to win the header, beaten to it by Churchill. Jaloka sends it back, chance for Raymond, won't stick. Fauna tries to burst her way through. Here's Pike. And red shirt scrambling anywhere near a blue one every time there's a chance or a half chance on the edge of the box. Fauna looks to deliver, one by Churchill. Fauna again. Zabel.
If Belconnen can sort out the two centre-backs to be able to, one, to drive forward, then that's going to overload the midfield. And because the left and right back are pushing forward, there's so much space.
Well, Palumbi won the ball, but she was on her own with about 50 yards to go. Wasn't much in the way of support for her there, was there?
No, not at all. And she did the right thing, tried to drag the ball back and try and keep possession. But just what I was saying is with the left and right back from Belconnen pushing forward, it's making both the two wingers from Canberra FC having to go really deep, which is allowing a lot of space in the midfield. So one of the centre backs needs to drive into that midfield to be able to create that overload.
Free kick
for Belconnen.
A bit stop-start in this respect. There's been a lot of free kicks for little niggly shoves and little taps here and there.
Yeah, there has, and it's game on. Canberra FC going in at half-time at 0-0, then I'm sure Anne will say not to panic, but it's going to create doubt in the minds of the Belconnen United players.
Rashards. Zabel. Keir helps it on. His Price. Face-to-face with Gill. Raymond, and the flag goes up again. It's not really working for Belconnen in the attacking sense at the moment.
No, it's not, and the defensive line of Canberra FC has been outstanding, and you can tell that when you see Maddie Whittle. He's had a quiet game, but don't doubt Maddie. She's one of those players who'll be able to score on a half turn in the blink of an eyelid. So, yeah, but Canberra FC have done very well, especially defensively.
Yeah, credit to them defensively.
And created.
Well, there's a chance maybe for them to create something here as Gill gets involved again. There's Bunker showing her pace. She'll have to do well to get that in from there, and she hasn't, unfortunately, been able to keep it in play. It's been their best outlet, though, Gill Bunker, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, you can see the synergy between the two. They're both looking, or definitely Gill's looking for her, which you would look for her because she's pretty much a lone striker at the moment. It's the two other wingers are dropping in.
Jaloka looks to send that through, and Churchill's there again. Each one of the FC back forwards stood up strong so far. Lauren Keir having to go over the fence. Time ticking away at the end of this first half. Fauna. A chance perhaps for Raymond to get this into the penalty area. That's a good piece of covering defending once again from FC.
What a tackle that is. That's a, like I said at the start of the game, that's a quality defender's tackle. You know, the pace and the tackle. That was
the timing from Churchill was brilliant. She has conceded the corner though, and chance perhaps for Fauna to drop this into a dangerous area. It's a good corner, that one is. Vasta's come, she's got a hand on it, it's loose, it's prodded gowards, it's a massive scramble, pinball in the area, and in the end, Canberra FC survive. Not sure how.
How did they survive that? I thought it was in the back of the net. It was just, all it needed was a toey in the back of the net. But what a ball from Fauna. She can hit those balls with both feet as well. But for the goalkeeper, she just needs to punch them out, especially this stage of the game. Such a crucial part of the game.
I think Pike swung a boot at it, and I think Whittle also maybe swung a boot at it, hit a couple of knees. The upshot was that Canberra FC got away with one.
Yeah,
but as you said, great delivery from Alexia Fauna.
Yeah, fantastic technique. In fact, at her age, in the country, probably one of the best technicians I've seen. Really outstanding. She's got certainly a promising future.
Coming up to the final minute of the first half. Hard-in-mouth moment that for Canberra FC and their supporters. Here's Palumbi, looks to help it on its way to bunker. Gill's made the run as well. And Keir saw her coming and stuck a foot out. Importantly so. Belconnen looking to end the half on the front foot with Jaloka. Tries to squeeze it through to Price, but again she's denied, this time by Hagen. Defensively, they've been a credit to Nick Brozanic. Very strong. It's been a good line as well.
Yeah, it has been, and that's the first time you've seen Wright go forward. Just not a great ball from Grace Gill.
Rashard. Dying seconds of the half. Is there one final flourish from those in blue to end the first 45 minutes of the NPL season? Rashard looks to send it. Fauna helps it on its way. There's space for Raymond, but the flag is up once more. I've lost count how many times they've been called offside today. Just a little bit eager to get in.
Yeah, exactly. And Canberra FC aren't playing offside. It's just a matter of the timing of the runs and just being able to hold that run up and take a couple of steps away and then get yourself in behind. So timing's everything.
I shouldn't imagine there'll be too long added on, maybe a minute or so. And swept forwards. Bunker challenges and another knock for Rashard. And off Bunker again.
Yeah, she's been in the wars today, and I would class her as a really tough player that would hardly go down. She's usually like the Rock of Gibraltar there with Lauren Kerr in centre-back. I think she's an outstanding player.
We've not seen too much in the way of fluidity from either side, but there's been some really interesting little duels. Raymond versus Wright down this near side. Day versus Gill, which you mentioned. And this one, Bunker against Rashard as well. And it's pretty much honours even across the park, which is, I guess, why we're locked at 0-0 stalemate.
Yeah, exactly. And these little challenges amongst each other on the park is, in the first round, it's really prevalent. So let's say round or mid-season to end of the season, it's more fluency from each team, but you haven't seen that. We haven't seen either team deliver that especially effectively.
Well, Rashard's come to sit down again. This doesn't look too good for Jessie Rashard. Maybe a knock on exactly the same spot that she had before. Maybe a slight concussion there, maybe, and getting some treatment in front of us. The options from anti-Jagarinic include Rhiannon Davis, Leah Carnegie, Steph Hedich, Kira Bobbin and Isla Robertson. Very young-looking bench for Belconnen. You wouldn't want to lose the experience of Rashard if he can help it.
No, exactly, and I'd say he'd push Lauren Kerr into centre-back, which I think's her best position, and she leads by example, and her communication's outstanding, and then you'd probably stick somebody at right back.
We're probably going to end the half with 10. They are indeed, as the half-time whistle goes. And a little bit of work for Anthony Jagarinic to do at half-time to decide whether he reshuffles his pack and Rashard doesn't come back. But at half-time, Nick Brozanic will be pretty happy with his team.
Yeah, for sure. I think going in at 0-0, they even could have grabbed the goal there towards the end there. But going in at 0-0, then it's a game of tactics now, and who's going to come out in the second half and who's going to change things, which team.
Well, thanks for your company in the first half, Heather. I think we're off to get something warm to drink to try and warm up here. Half-time in the Women's National Premier League at McKellar Park. The first game of the season, the grand final rematch. It's Belconnen United 0, Canberra FC 0. Welcome back to McKellar Park for the second half of the Women's National Premier League season opener, Belconnen United against Canberra FC. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. Joining me, as she did in the first half, is Canberra United head coach Heather Garrock. Heather, Canberra FC were out fairly early and in their huddle. They'll be pretty pleased with what they've done so far. 0-0 at half-time against the champions, and plenty to play for in this second half.
Yeah, most definitely, Russ. Look, they look buzzing, and Belconnen look a little bit deflated, coming out in dribs and drabs. But this next 45 will really tell, and it's going to show the fitness of the players as well, especially in this early on in the season. But for Canberra FC, if they get an early goal, then it's game on. It's game on anyway, realistically. The pressure's on Belconnen, but there's promising signs for Canberra FC, especially with that link-up between Grace Gill in the midfield and the striker, Bunker.
First thing that I noticed at the start of the second half is Leah Carnegie wearing the number 7 shirt in the Belconnen huddle, which means that Jessie Rashart won't be joining us back in the second half. That'll precipitate a little bit of a reshuffle in the Belconnen back four. You were mentioning off air there that you think that probably Lauren Keir will just slot into the centre-back position and Carnegie possibly straight into full-back.
Yeah, for sure. You'd definitely put Keir in the back line with her leadership skills and her experience, usually at centre-back. But that's a huge loss for Belconnen. She's an exceptional player who leads by example, and like I said, she's like the Rock of Gibraltar for Belconnen United usually, and really tough. So let's see if Lauren Kerr can contain Bunker.
And a change for Canberra FC as well. Vanessa Ryan in the number 11 shirt in this near side. Can't quite see who she's come on for just yet. It may well be Brittany Palumbi that's been substituted here. We'll just check.
Yeah, she got a knock towards the back end of the first half, so could quite be Palumbi. It
looks like it is, so that's a rejig for both teams, which means that Belconnen's side at the start of the second half has James in goal, Keir, Zabel, Carnegie and Pike, Day, Jaloka, Price, Whittle, Fauna and Raymond. And Canberra FC, Vasta in goal, Wright, Galich, McLaughlin, Churchill, Gill, Hagan, Berkeley, Goldstein, Bunker, and now Ryan. Summer signing from Canberra Olympic, Vanessa Ryan. Did a game that she was involved in against Tuggeranong last season, Heather, where she played in the reserves and scored 4 in a 4-0 win, and then came on as a substitute in first grade and netted in that as well. So quite an afternoon she had there.
Yeah, how good's that, to be able to back up, just like the old days, back up from reserve grade to first grade and be able to make an impact on both sides. That's the beauty with having a team that goes through all the grades, and it's great to see that we have that in Canberra.
We'll see what she can do on her competitive debut for Canberra FC. She's playing on this near side of a front three. Maybe to hopefully, from Nick Broznich's point of view, get a little bit of support to Bunker, who sometimes was a little bit isolated. A couple of other games, like I said, Monero Panthers Canberra Olympic was postponed over at the Riverside today in the first round of NPL. One game which will go ahead at 6 o'clock tonight, Canberra United Academy against Woden Western. That's on the artificial surface of Hawker. Whittle pulls out across. First touch for Ryan. And she'll get a second here, challenging with Raymond. Put Churchill into a little bit of a problem there. And the upshot is that Belconnen have a throw right by the corner flag. Ricardo Alberto is the man in the middle today. Gave a lot of free kicks in the first half. Here's Whittle. Looking to force the ball past Churchill. First half, second half starting as the first half did, with Belconnen United on the front foot. Thankfully, the rain has gone away for the time being. Whittle's got a knock there as well. As Day swings it in towards the far post. Good ball in, and Carnegie's first touch. Leah Carnegie was to prod that goalwards. Bit more on that, and that might have caused a problem for Vasta.
Yeah, sensational ball by Mickey Day. She's got a quality right peg, and just to swing that ball in. And that's been the highlight of Belconnen's first 45 minutes in the start of this half, is just being able to swing those balls in and get the ball in behind.
Chance for Ryan to chase this. Raymond's rapid and also very experienced. A rare touch for Sally James in the goal. Price edges it forward, but it's been picked up by Wright. And Price was back there to win it again, but Zabel rather on that occasion.
You'd think being your debut for a new club, especially a young goalkeeper, you'd want to put her under pressure early on, and she's been under no pressure whatsoever. In terms of the ball at her feet, they've just dropped off, Canberra FC, and it'd be great to see them put them, or Sally James, through a lot more pressure, and possibly she may give the ball up.
Well, she hasn't had any save to make, really, has she, of any note so far? We know she's capable, but you need to be on her toes, and that's a nice touch from Bunker, who's been impressive on debut in red. Goldstein looks to return the compliment. Bunker again, 2 shirts on her straight away. She can't quite force her way through, but she had an impressive opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, she has. I'm really impressed. Rush, you're saying that she come midway through the season, and she's an American and now got an Australian passport, so I'm quite intrigued.
Better for it to impress you than me.
Yeah. No, she's just caused a lot of havoc up front, especially being isolated and always 2 players on her.
I'm sure you can have a chat with her after, Heather, and find out her story.
Sounds good to me, Russ.
Here's Price. Drifting in midfield. Now Raymond looks to step away from Ryan, who's stuck with her well and wins the ball and is called up for a free kick. Took a fair bit of Raymond in the process. Canberra FC men's team got off to a winning start last night in the Charity Shield, keeping up their trophy habit with a 2-1 win over Gungahlin United. And Whittle's worn one across the face there from Churchill. And it's a free kick in a dangerous position. There was an arm up. Whether or not it was enough to award a free kick is debatable.
What a great ball from Lauren Kerr, and not only a great ball, but good use of the body there from Maddie Whittle. And that's she drew the foul, and she's low centre of gravity, but really good to be able to try and get a body in there. And for Belconnen United, this is a goal-scoring opportunity. Mickey Day's quality on set plays, especially free kicks.
Well, she's been having to do an awful lot of work defensively, Michaela Day, this afternoon. Here's a chance for her to stamp her mark on the game in an offensive capability. Day lining it up. Will she go for goal? She dips it, but that's always going too high over the crossbar. And it gets a warm, enthusiastic round of applause from the Canberra FC fans to our left, who, fair to say, didn't agree with the referee's decision.
They didn't agree with the referee's decision, but for a split moment there, I thought Vicky was going to cross the ball in, and I was highly surprised because that left-hand side of the goal was well and truly open. All she needed to do was put it on target. So,
yeah, she'll be disappointed. She's, I think, caught between 2 stools there for a moment, wasn't she? Didn't strike it anywhere near as well as she could have.
Not at all.
But opportunities. See Jessie Rashart down in front of us with a lump of ice being held to her head. So that was obviously, she got a crack twice in the same spot, I think, didn't she? Which probably doesn't help.
No, it doesn't, especially this day and age. Concussion plays a huge part.
Thumping challenge from Churchill on Day. And here goes Gill. A little bit of a shirt pull from Jalocka. The referee plays a good advantage. Gill tries her luck. And it rolls away from goal and opening up a little bit.
It is opening up, and there is back and forth and transition moments, left, right and centre. But what about that tackle? Alice Churchill, she's absolute quality. She doesn't leave anything left in the tank.
It's not often many players knock over Michaela Day in a 50-50 either.
No, not at all.
One of the league's toughest midfielders. Pressure on Vasta. Does well, the keeper. Jalocka was to send it back, and Whittle was sniffing around. May have been flagged offside as she got a touch, but it's been a bright opening to the second half.
Yeah, a bit of excitement. Great to see. Sun's back out. Happy days.
Even though it's early in the season, players might get a little bit leggy as we go on, having not played competitively for a while. That might open it up again and get to the stage where is a point a good return from Nick Brosnich's team here. Probably think so, Heather. If they get to that stage, do they go for broke and try and win the game, or do they be happy with what he's got?
No, I saw towards the end of the first half they were going for it. They want a goal. They want to get up, and there was a couple of times there in the back end of the first half where Grace Gill cheated and didn't track back Michaela Day and cheated to see if she could get the ball in between.
Berkeley wins a free kick. There's been a fair bit of talk coming out of Canberra FC this year, and Nick Brosnich has been pretty loud about how he thinks his team is going to go. He's very confident in his squad, and why not? That's certainly proving him right.
Well, when you're the boss and you exude confidence, and that ultimately flows down to the rest of the team, and you can just tell they're playing with confidence, and it's great to see. It's a really nice style of football.
Ryan rolls Raymond. Now looks to take her on. They're going to burst through the challenge here, and she gets a bit of help from Lauren Keir. Day can bring it away for Belconnen. She's dawdled on it a little bit, and the shot on the turn was from Bunker, who was not afraid to have a pop from there.
Bit of a cheeky smile between Bunker and Grace Gill there.
Took it off her toe, didn't she?
Absolutely. She was facing the right direction there, Grace. She's in now.
Goldstein. Can feel a bit of belief in the Canberra FC fans to our left, that their side can stamp a statement of intent on this competition. Ryan wins the tackle, and he's pulled up.
Yeah, never in a million years that one. That's quality.
Looked like a decent ball-winning challenge from where we were. Right in front of the Canberra FC bench, rather, and they agreed with us up here. Unfortunately, we don't blow the whistle.
No, we don't. The referees do a fantastic job.
And that's a fantastic ball looking for Whittle. It's going to skip away off the surface, but you could see the idea that was in Lauren Keir's mind for a moment.
Yeah, and since Keir's went back to centre-back, her direct way of thinking, trying to find Maddie Whittle, is evident.
Bunker dropping deep. Gill. That's looked like handball by Day. The referee says no. Berkeley. Churchill. Berkeley. Churchill again. Nice play this from Canberra FC to create an opening as Gill goes in. Thumping challenge with Jaloka. Comes away with the ball as well. And now goes past Price. Bunker. Here they go again. Gill, this is a lovely move from Canberra FC. Can they find an end product? Here's Ryan. Delivers it towards Gill. Might fall for Bunker, and she flashes it over the crossbar. But the best bit of football that Canberra FC have produced in the match by a mile.
What an outstanding build-up. That is absolutely outstanding. And just here on the left-hand side, to be able to see the confidence they exude, to be able to play a combination play, a little 1-2, Grace Gill's mentality to win the ball back and continue on and create that shot on goal. Absolutely outstanding. Exciting football here at McKellar Park.
There's been a visible lift in those in red at the start of the second half, almost as if their belief has gone through the roof at half-time. And they started the second half very well. You can see how important Grace Gill was, the architect of that move, involved 3 or 4 times in the build-up. Not just winning the ball, but showing physical strength to get away from a marker and then, picking the right pass at the right time.
Yeah, she's just outstanding. She's just had such an impact on the game. She's running the show in the midfield.
Berkeley started the second half well as well. She was reasonably quiet in the first 45, but coming to the fore in this half. Gill's going to get there first. Looks to send that back. Wrong option on that occasion.
It was a wrong option, but at least Bunker had put James under a wee bit of pressure to then knock the ball to the Canberra FC player, which was Grace Gill, and wasn't quite the best ball.
Keir. Price. Day. Under pressure again, and the fluidity with which Belconnen are usually associated just isn't there at the moment this afternoon.
No, they're not, but it is early days, and it's very difficult to gel, and when you've got a few key players away and not part of it, then it makes it very difficult. But yeah, I'm sure Anthony wasn't pleased with the first half and would want to see a goal to get them back on top.
Here's Ryan. It's lofted forward. Bunker puts Keir under pressure. And it's a Belconnen ball. Raymond wants to get on with it. And Fauna can't get past Churchill. When we watched Alexia Fauna turning 16 this year. I think we found out at half-time that last year she played when she was an Olympic, and we'll come back to that point in a second as Bunker tries to get away from Keir. Shoulder to shoulder. Good bit of defending that from Lauren Keir. The point I was going to make about Fauna, Heather, and I don't know if you agree, last year when I saw her at Canberra Olympic, she operated a lot deeper, getting the ball a bit further away from goal and creating chances rather than being the sole focus through the middle. Yeah,
look, my personal opinion, I'd prefer to see Lexi as a 10 or someone that drops in between the lines, between the defence and the midfield, and I think that's her skill, is to be able to pick the ball up and hit those killer passes and be able to whip the ball in behind defences, and I'm not quite sure if she's a 9, to be honest.
Well, that was almost an error from Galich. Vasta did well to cover, and Churchill's happy to see the ball out of play. Well, she's worked hard, hasn't she, in that 9 role, but she just hasn't quite come off for it at the moment.
She certainly has. I'd rather see Maddie Whittle as a 9. I just think Maddie's outstanding. She's just got pace to burn, and she can really create goal-scoring opportunities, especially with that 1v1 attacking mindset that she's got. So her out on the wing, ultimately, I'd prefer to see her in there as a striker.
And as you say, when Fauna's got the ability to pick those runs as well and weight those passes, you'd think that would be a way through perhaps for Belconnen.
Yeah, exactly. But in saying that, maybe Belconnen don't have that the depth of their attacking players.
We did mention at the top of the broadcast they'd lost 21 goals through Williams and Maguire moving on.
Yeah, which will hurt. And young Jazz Maguire, it's great to see that she's followed head coach of CUA, Ryan Grogan, to North Shore Mariners, which they've started their season already. It's great to see Jess being out of her comfort zone and being in that New South Wales Premier League. And obviously all the best to Ryan Grogan.
A couple of new signings from Canberra FC not available today. Lara Agnew from the academy, Lucy Darcy from the academy, both unavailable. Sharon Cho, another academy product, is on the bench. Here's Berkeley. Tries to find Gill, but it runs away from her, and Price got in front. McLaughlin was there. It's been a good display from the Canberra FC defence, keeping their league's top scorers last year quiet and helping their midfield get on the front foot. Day. She's left that a bit short, and Hagan goes thundering into the challenge. Comes out second best to Zabel, who's had a very good debut. Right. Tried to force it through to Gill. There's that challenge between Gill and Day once more. Little subplots within plots at the moment, isn't there? All around the field.
Yeah, there is, and the discipline with Canberra FC's defence, the left and right back, and not bombing on forward. So what the solution is more third-man runs for Belconnen.
Keir, who's tried that 3 or 4 times now, just to lift it over the top for Whittle's pace.
Yeah, I'm surprised she hasn't identified that Bunker's the only one marking the 2 centre-backs, and the ability to be able to drive through that to that midfield.
Raymond steps in. Off she goes. Runs into Berkeley, who makes a good challenge. Ryan finds Gill. The battle there, and Gill does well again. Berkeley. Bunker. Nice touch that, but Ryan can't quite get on the end of it. Berkeley again challenging. Churchill wins the header. The chase is on here for Whittle. And Churchill's back there doing a defensive job again. Noticeable in this second half, Heather, that the Canberra FC midfield seem to be getting the better of the duel.
Yeah, they are. And Jamie Berkeley, she's another one that's just works so damn hard in that midfield, and really stops a lot of Belconnen going through in Jalocca, and she's been outstanding this game, and she does just the simple things well.
They've got her on the ball a lot more in the second half as well, which has probably helped them in terms of going forward. Here's Bunker doing the lonely running, but doing it well. Holding it up. Looking to bring in some support. Wins a team a throw. and goes quickly. Finds Gill. Goldstein in support to her right. Gill might go on her own here. Grace Gill bursting through into the area. Gill shoots, but straight down the throat of Sally James. And that's what she brings to the team in an attacking sense when she gets going.
Unbelievable. She just took on 3 players and shifted the ball to her left foot, which isn't a favourite foot, and unfortunately the shot wasn't the best. But
meanwhile, Fauna's got goal side here and looked for support, and the covering was from Ivana Galic, and she concedes the corner at the other end.
Just a transition. When Grace Gill bombs on, then there's a big hole in the midfield there, and that's how Belconnen got out just now. But Grace Gill, her tenacity and drive to go forward, it's just outstanding. Certainly hasn't lost it.
Carnegie with the corner for Belconnen. It's a flattered delivery, good one too. Pike attacked it. Might fall for Day on the edge of the area. Good block from Berkeley. Fauna's there and she's robbed. And a chance for Canberra FC to bring it forwards. And there's going to break here on the left-hand side for Goldstein. Winds one up from distance, and James is called into action again. Had a quiet first half, but more to do in the last 2 minutes than she's had prior to that.
Yeah, cool, calm, collected. Good to see from Sally James.
And almost immediately, just like they did a moment ago, they've got Whittle in behind the back here. Here's Maddie Whittle, looking to dart between 2 players. She's all on her own, Whittle. Have to do it solo if she's going to go and find a way through. In the end, looks for some support.
Yeah, good little touch there from Galic as well. It's she almost got the better of her. Maddie Whittle.
Fauna looks for Whittle. Pike's ball in. Churchill's clearance. Keir. Fauna. Couldn't send that down the wing, but it's Canberra FC getting a little bit excited now. They're pushing some players forward. They've had a couple of chances, and their discipline's still pretty good defensively, and they've gone well so far. With 65 minutes in, still no goals.
Yeah, exactly, and they'd be pleased with that. I just think Belconnen could take their opportunities when Canberra FC does go forward, is just to be able to push their 2 wingers high and wide, and that'll expose Canberra FC quite dramatically.
The introduction of Vanessa Ryan at half-time certainly helped as well, hasn't it? Giving Bunker a little bit of support, giving Belconnen something else to think about.
Yeah, exactly, especially with her speed.
Here's Goldstein from Gill. She looks for Ryan through the middle, and Raymond's there covering. And tidies up. James is having to be quick to that one, and did well to find Raymond.
You certainly did well there, under pressure.
Raymond looks for Whittle, just eased off the ball by McLaughlin, who's called up for the free kick. Might have got away with that if she had done it a little bit more subtly than that.
Yeah, a little bit more subtle, but good defending, I think, and good to draw the foul, Maddie Whittle.
Picks up a yellow card for it, which is perhaps a little bit unlucky.
It is unlucky, yeah, it was just a good challenge, and the game's been tough. It's been very aggressive from both teams. Both teams want to win. It's fantastic to see.
Especially considering where the free kick has actually been positioned on the field. Keir sends that in towards the penalty area. Bounces around on the edge. Here's Whittle. Good challenge that by Hagan. Finds Ryan. Day gets her ahead of Gill, but Gill wins it back. It's been a great battle, that. Still got half an hour or so, or 20 minutes or so to watch that as well. Day's there. Carnegie. Looks to run McLaughlin. Swings it in and Vasta's at the near post.
I think conditioning's going to come into play, Russ, to be honest. You can see the amount of work that Grace Gill's gotten through.
Here goes Bunker, throwing herself at the ball again. Breaks for Berkeley, who tried to play a 1-2 with Ryan. Bunker still battling away with Keir. James happy to go short to Zabel. Now Kia looks for that ball over the top again and asks Raymond to put her foot down. She'll keep this in, Ellie Raymond. Has she got a delivery? Couldn't quite wrap her foot around it after that lung-bursting run forward from fullback.
And had she wrapped her foot around it, Maddie Whittle had made a great run from the near post all the way to the far post, and she was unmarked.
20 minutes to go, Heather. Both sides have made one change. Looking at the benches again, Belconnen, Rhiannon Davis, Steph Heddich, Kira Bobbin and Isla Robertson. Very young bench there. And Canberra FC have Sharon Cho, Alexia Panagiotopoulos, Isabella Tamaro and Jess Brooker as their options.
Yeah, look, any young, inexperienced player, I think, could affect the game dramatically because there's no expectation.
Well, Wright went down and she got a little bit of a tug on the shirt as she was trying to run past her marker, and gives a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. And this is a dangerous situation. There's a yellow card as well.
This is dangerous because Grace is the expert free kick taker, so this is going to certainly test young Sally James in goals for Belconnen United.
Is that Whittle doing her defensive duties and picking up a yellow card? So she wanders off back up front again.
Let's not take anything away from Wright as well. I think she's been absolutely solid for Canberra FC.
Well, she's earned aside a free kick here, hasn't she? Now, Grace Gill, it's a difficult angle. We've seen her do it a couple of times here at McKellar Park from this kind of range, but from this nearer side, Gill lines it up. Good delivery into the area towards the far post. The header was from Bunker. It's loose, and there's a big shout for handball.
That is a
massive shout for handball.
That is a handball.
Seems Belconnen have dodged one there.
That's a penalty. A penalty all day.
Well, we don't have the replays, unfortunately, but...
Oh, dear.
If you're watching at home and do see a replay, feel free to drop us a text and let us know. But a big shout from the Canberra FC bench. They all went up as one, didn't they?
They certainly did. What a quality free kick, though. And a great header from...
I think it was Bunker that came in on the far post, wasn't it?
Bunker it was, yeah.
Well, they're going closer, Canberra FC.
Yeah, they are. I'm excited to see them play this season. They have been really outstanding this season. Not to take anything away from Belconnen, I think they've been great in patches. And now Maddie Whittle's certainly stepped up, especially in this last 10 minutes. She's gotten herself on the ball, and you can tell she really wants to get on that goal sheet.
Remember, this is a Belconnen team which will welcome back Kath Brown, as we said, and Caitlin Munoz. But at the moment, in the second half, they've been second best, you'd say. Chances have come to those in red.
Yeah, they have, and at the back there, it just seems like they're played really direct with Lauren Kerr trying to hit Maddie Whittle direct.
Here's Fauna, Jaloka, looking to dance her way through. Churchill in the way. Whittle's there as well, but her threat's been snuffed out as soon as she's got a touch on it. Still 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Still no closer to deciding who will be kicking off the season with a win, if either of these sides will. Except to say it'd be a bit harsh on either side to lose it from here, wouldn't it? They both could make compelling cases as to why they should be winning and taking the 3 points this afternoon.
Yeah, I think more for Canberra FC, especially after that controversial handball.
You obviously see situations like that, Heather, and when everybody goes up at once, it's genuinely a good shout. Hagen sends that forwards. Goldstein was interested for a moment, but she'll settle for the throw. No movement on the Canberra FC bench. Belconnen have their subs up and warming up. Like I said, it's quite an inexperienced Belconnen bench.
It is normally, there's depth galore for Belconnen, but yeah, you've got Caitlin Munoz and Catherine Brown not part of the squad this weekend, so it makes it difficult.
Gill looks to turn Day. Day athletically back there to make the challenge. Raymond. And Kia goes home to start again through James. Zabel looks to take on Bunker. Very solid start for her at the back. It's a good ball forward as well, looking for Fauna, who's made a fantastic run in behind. Looks for Whittle. Right idea, just didn't quite get the execution correct.
Yeah, a really good run off the shoulder there from Alexi Fauna, but I just love to see her pull the trigger. The more you put the goalkeeper under pressure and get shots on goal, she could parry it and there could be a tap in there, but that opportunity went begging.
It's getting ominously dark. McKellar's a swathe of grey clouds heading in our direction. I'm sure that'll drop the temperature a few more degrees for you, Heather.
Yep, especially with no gloves. You
But
live
like
and you learn.
Pike swings that one into the penalty area. Vasta's lost it for a moment and we'll be happy to see this out of play. So not like you were here with Canberra United when you were in the short sleeve shirts down there and
yeah, exactly, the sweltering heat.
nice and warm. Wasn't without its weather interruptions at W League this year, was it? The game at Seafer Oval being abandoned
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
Lightning. Here's Bunker. Good ball wide, that to Goldstein, and first touch was a little heavy. Right idea again, though. Bunker continues her impressive start to life at the Deakin Stadium Club. Nice touch from Carnegie to Raymond. She looks settled since she's come into the team as well as a half-time substitute. And Fauna's rolled McLaughlin here. Whittle's gone to the penalty spot. It might come for Whittle, and defensively Wright does the right thing and knocks it out for a corner.
In the right place at the right time.
Bridget Wright. Another set piece. They've lost the height, of course, of Rashard off at half-time with a head knock.
But yeah, the only way Belconnen will look like they're going to score are from set pieces, especially this half. So,
well, they did that one in the first half where Fauna dropped it right in on Vasta, and there was a massive goalmouth scramble, and Whittle had the final touch. The ball was cleared off the line. Carnegie looking to put it into that area again as the rain starts to come down once more. It's another decent ball into the box, and that's a good header away from Churchill again. Such a solid presence at the back there for Canberra FC, and has been for a number of years now. Whittle slides it into the area. Jaloka might come for Day, who strikes one, and it was always rising. Just enough pressure on her from Krista Hagen to force her to drive it over the crossbar. Conditions deteriorating.
and Day was appealing for a free kick there.
You can probably see the rain coming down. It was threatening. 14 minutes plus stoppage time to go. No goals in the Women's Premier League opener here at McKellar Park. The grand final rematch between the two sides that most expect to be up towards the top end of the table once again this year. Whittle's turn. Jaloka looks to swing it into the penalty. A great ball in on the far post, and that was a chance. The flag was up against Pike anyway. It wouldn't have counted, but another good ball into the penalty area.
Yeah, it's a good ball in, but at this stage of the game, you want to put as much pressure on the ball as possible, and the person that's delivering the ball won't be able to get on the ball to deliver it.
Talking about the other teams in the competition, there's some interesting movements over at Monero with the Panthers signing 3 Solomon Islands internationals down the core of their team, adding a player from Singapore and a player from America as well. So plenty of movement at Monero as they look to re-establish themselves in the women's top flight.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really excited to see Monaro play this year, and especially with those signings. It's interesting. There's no cap on visa players, I believe, so may as well take the opportunity. So it'd be great to see different styles from different countries.
Yeah, bring something different to the local women's game and probably give it a bit more exposure overseas as well. The families of those players will probably tune in to have a look. Different challenge for the players that are here in Canberra as well. Vasta will come and collect this. McLaughlin back to Vasta. Don't want to be taking too many unnecessary risks at this stage. Fauna dropping very deep to try and challenge Goldstein.
Yeah, the spaces in between the lines are certainly opening up now. It's anyone's game. From the back line to the front line, there's quite a large amount of space.
If I was to put you on the spot, Heather, and you were asked to pick a winner, can you see someone grabbing a goal at this stage, and if so, who?
Yeah, I think Belconnen could score the winner through a set piece. If not, I'll back FC.
Bunker looks to squeeze it through. And she's back there winning the challenge. Commits the foul in doing so, but the enthusiasm was there again, and the fitness levels are excellent with 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, exactly. It's been outstanding. It's been such a great battle, and whilst Mickey Day's a physio, I'm sure she'll be on the physio bed come Monday because she's got a few knocks and bruises, and she's worked extremely hard.
Well, no court has been asked or given between her and Gill in the middle of the park. Both with a huge amount of respect for each other. Kira Bobbin is ready to go down below us, just going through a final warm-up for Belconnen United, so there'll be a change coming from there. Anthony Jagarinich looking to reshuffle the pack slightly. There'd be no other reason why she's got the tracksuit off, because it's freezing.
No, exactly right. Everyone's got their big jackets on. It's a really important part of the game to make an impact, especially coming on as a substitute.
Gill. Berkeley to McLaughlin. Spreads it to this near side. Churchill. McLaughlin forwards. Nice touch, Hagan. Berkeley again. Good strength as well from Jamie Berkeley. It's everything you want in a midfielder, really, isn't she? Good feet.
Yeah,
strong on the ball.
She really is an outstanding player, and again, another player that I picked up last year as part of the Canberra United winter program. She's just got something about her. She's one of those midfielders that does all the hard yards and is really unnoticed, but she's been really outstanding in this second half today.
Galich over this free kick. Good one too, lifted into the penalty area. But it's a blue shirt that gets rid of it. Jalocka completes the clearance now. Whittle will chase. McLaughlin, his starting position was very good. And confidence in Vasta. Pressure on Churchill. Gill. Galich, nicely done. Bunker tried to flick it on, and Canberra FC, 9 minutes to go on the attack. Berkeley. Ryan. It's deflected towards Gill. Day's back, tracking her. She has been for all 81 of these minutes that we've played. Ryan wins it back. Berkeley. Hagan. She's been quietly effective as well in midfield.
Yeah, young Hagan. Yeah, she's kept the ball going.
Goldstein's ball in, flags up against Grace Gill. Stole away from Mickey Day for a moment.
Yeah, it was.
Got everyone in red excited for a brief second till they spotted the flag of Lawrence Morris. Whittle. Zabel. It's a good ball looking towards Fauna. It's going to skip away, though, off the turf, which has got a recent covering of rain. Goldstein for Canberra FC. Gill. Now here's Hagan. Won't be able to keep that in. Bobbin's been warming up, and there wasn't much warming up on the Canberra FC bench, but we are going to see Sharon Cho straight into the action. Whether someone's pulled up that we're not sure about, but she didn't do much of a warm-up there, did she?
Straight off the bench and straight into going on. Old school warm-up, touch the toes and ready to go. But Sharon's a young player from CUA from last year. Played in our reserve grade quite a bit. So, good young player.
Well, she's going to see just over 5 minutes or so when she gets on, as Keir tries to thread that through. Churchill's there again, though. Ryan. Gill. Keir having a little tug of the shirt on the blind side of the ref, and then a little bit of a challenge with Berkeley. Here's Bunker. Keeps possession well. And just does a little bit too much with it. But gets away with it in the end.
I think Bunker, if she can stick herself on the two centre backs on their shoulder, then there's half an opportunity there.
Carnegie gets the bounce off of Churchill. Jalocka's in there too. Price tries to send it forwards and McLaughlin clears. Here's Pike. Goldstein tracks her back. Time ticking away. Whittle from deep. Looks to play it through to Price. Deflection might take it into the path of Pike up from the left back. And she couldn't deflect it onto goal. Opportunity goes begging for Belconnen, and that will signal the two changes that we were talking about.
It does, and Pike gets herself up in that front third and gets shots off on goal, especially at that left back position. That was a prime opportunity for her.
That's Mel Bunker's race run. She gets a warm reception from the Canberra FC faithful. Vanessa Ryan drops into the centre forward position, and Sharon Cho comes to this near side. Impressive start for her. I'm sure there'll be plenty of goals for Mel Bunker by the end of the season, judging by what we've seen.
Yeah, most definitely. I thought she was outstanding between her and Grace Gill. And the defence and quite a lot of players for Canberra SC have done exceptionally well.
I think Nick Brosnich has asked them all to do a job, and every single one of them's stuck their hand up and done what's been asked of them so far.
Yeah, there's a great deal of belief in the team, and you can see that by the way they've played and really tested Belconnen today.
Well, 5 minutes between Canberra FC and a point or more. If one of these, if they can find a winner with little times left. Gill, Ryan, Raymond's back defending. Day, nibbling at her heels was Grace Gill. Zabel, this touch from Pike. Chance for her to stretch her legs. Not had too many opportunities to go forward in this match. And when she has, she's been snuffed out by Bridget Wright as she was there. Jazz Zabel. Ryan back helping out and happy just to hook that one forwards. They don't want to be dropping too deep into their shell, do they? Have to inviting Belconnen on for this final 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, exactly. When Bunker, just before she went off, I saw how deep she was, and I'm thinking, oh, they must be trying to defend for a draw, but I still think they're going for it.
Well, Kira Bobbin is going to come on for the last 4 minutes plus stoppage time, and they're subbing the sub here. I think that's Leah Carnegie that's coming off.
It is indeed.
Maybe she's got a knock or something. It's unusual. She did play the Futsal Premier League final on Wednesday. That can be give you a couple of knocks on your knees or backs, can't it, after a hard season of indoor?
Yeah, good old futsal. Good sport. I really enjoy futsal, and my Canberra United team played futsal once a week during the season.
Players love it as well, don't they? A chance to get on the ball. And
yeah, good for camaraderie.
Well, the sub's been subbed. Kira Bobbins on the field. Here's Gill battling away. Kia's there. Looks to send that towards Bobbin. It's going to, in fact, find Whittle. He'll keep it in. Back to Jalocka. That came off the heel of Hagen. And Belconnen United throwing people forward, looking for a match winner if they can find one. Jalocka wins the header. Galich, very calm, but perhaps too calm for a moment.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm the centre-back of Canberra FC, I'd be putting the ball in behind Belconnen's defence, knocking as far as I can up the field.
Nick Brosnich is pacing his technical area at the moment. I think his heart would have been in his mouth for a moment just then. He certainly organised his team well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and you can tell that, and it's led by who only but Grace Gill again this season, and yeah, just some really good players have come in, and some young players as well that have really stepped up and really contributed to this Canberra FC team.
Zabel Back to Raymond, who's going to go all the way back to James. Or dinked chip forward into no man's land, but picked up by Pike. Goldstein. Now, have Canberra FC got a twist in the tail at the end here? Chance for Cho to chase. But defensively, Belconnen marshal them well. Fauna plays it forward from Price. And there's a good challenge by Galich on Whittle.
It's been so much attack and defence and hard work down that right-hand side from Goldstein as well. And she's done really, really well to be able to come in on the left foot and defend Pike as well going forward.
Galich. Here is Goldstein. Right. Gill wins the throw as we approach the last minute of the match, plus whatever stoppage time the officials decree is necessary.
Looks like Grace Gill's gone up top.
Looking to pinch it.
Yeah, looks like she's gone as the number 9 in the last 5 minutes or so.
Either that or she's knackered.
She might be. She's done a lot of work, but...
Heaps. Here's Mickey Day looking to take advantage of her absence. Jaloka. It's a good ball down the wing and off goes Bobbin, the substitute. Looking to take on Churchill, who's been solid throughout the 90 minutes. Someone's taking a deflection and McLaughlin's happy to send it to touch. As we enter stoppage time at the end of the first 90 minutes of the season in the Women's National Premier League. Still waiting for our first goal. May come in the competition at 6 o'clock tonight, where the Academy play Woden Western. Wouldn't come at the Riverside, where the game was postponed due to the inclement weather overnight. Still might get it here in stoppage time at the end of this match. Gill playing as the centre forward now. Berkeley tries to find Ryan. Got there ahead of Raymond, but couldn't quite direct the ball where she wanted it to go. Churchill can. Finds Gill. Now Ryan to chase with Raymond, and Raymond wins herself a free kick. Minute of stoppage time played. Fauna. Jaloka. Looks for Whittle. Faster will come. And gets there first. Decent clearance too from the keeper.
It is indeed.
Almost found Gill.
Absolutely.
Whittle tries to steer it round the corner, but referee Ricardo Alberto looks at his watch, and after a minute and a half of stoppage time, it's on as even at McKellar Park between the two sides that met in last year's grand final. Not a lot to choose between them at all, Heather. There was chances in the first half. Madeline Whittle had the ball in the net, which he was offside. One cleared off the line. In the second half, though, the better chances came to those in red.
Yeah, indeed, and I think that's a fair score line for both teams. I think both teams had their chances and didn't quite take them, or unlucky circumstances, but a really good hit out and really good quality to see the first round of the season to have a 0-0 draw with the champions from last year. Exceptional result, especially for Canberra FC.
Thanks for your company this afternoon. Hopefully we'll get the chance to chat again throughout the season here in the Women's National Premier League. Heather Garrick, their head coach of Canberra United. Well, we knew at the start of this game that perhaps Canberra FC were going to be a genuine challenger for Belconnen United in the Women's National Premier League this season, and what we've seen over 90 minutes here hasn't dissuaded us from that opinion at all, because McKellar Park, in the first game of the new season, it's finished all square. Belconnen United 0, Canberra FC 0.